Hello YouTube, Yu-Gi-Oh! Galaxy here, and I have got a deck profile for you. Now, you guys have probably seen this all throughout the last format, but this is an Inzektor deck. If you do not like Inzektors, I will inform you to turn this video off now, or watch, because I will give a little bit of an insight about how they work and how to stop them. Anyways, I'm going to start off with the spells first, and I will be giving like a brief summary about what each card does. I'm not going to read the effects because you guys have internet, you can look them up. I'm just going to give out how they're useful. But anyway, starting off, we have Inzektor. What this card does is when it's equipped to a monster, well, to an Inzektor monster, your opponent cannot activate spells or traps during the turn during that attack. Next, you have Inzektor. When this card's sent to the graveyard, you can add another Inzektor monster from your graveyard back to your hand. Basically, it's to get your Hornet and Dragonfly back. Next, you have Swords, Monster Reborn, Book, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and triple MST. Yes, this deck does go with a little bit of back row hate with the 3 MSTs and Heavy Storm. Next, on to the traps, we have Double Compulse. Can't get over it, send it back. You got Torrential. I would run 2, but this deck here is basically as is. I do have 2 Torrentials, I just choose to run the 1 because 2 seems to be a dead draw, especially if you're playing 6 amps and they've already swarmed their field and they have nothing left to swarm with, so 1 is basically all that I seem to need. The 1 Bottomless. 1 Mirror Force, because 2, I say it would be useful, and there's a card in the main deck that you could probably side out for another Mirror Force or Torrential or whatever. You got Starlight Road, D-Prison, Trap Stun, and then I run 2 Reckless Greaves just for added draw power. You could also side them out for basically what you want. Now on to the monsters, and we're going to start off with the main engine of the deck. Dragonfly, Triple Centipede, Hornet. This is your main engine of the deck. Dragonfly, equipped Hornet, detach, summon your Centipede. Activate Centipede's effect, equipped Hornet from the grave. Add Inzektor or any Inzektor type card from your deck to your hand. So anyway, that's the main engine of the deck right there. We have a few more Inzektors, but we're getting to that. Double Ant, Hopper, and Ladybug. And then we also have Giga Cricket and Giga Mantis. Now, going back, Mantis makes any Inzektor monster that you equip this to 2400. However, if you already exhaust your Dragonfly's effect to equip the Hornet, Giga Mantis has its own effect that can activate in the hand, and then you can equip it from your hand directly to the monster. However, next turn, you can equip Giga Mantis from the graveyard, and when Giga Mantis is destroyed by an effect or something, you can special summon 1 Inzektor monster from your graveyard. Giga Cricket, however, when it's equipped to a monster, it does piercing damage, and it increases your monster's base attack to 2000. Basically, I do it with Giga Mantis and Giga Cricket because even though they don't gain anything extra from the 2, it does gain the ability to do piercing damage. Now, Ladybug's good for basically the only reason I run it is for a rank 5 exceed, and it also does like Hornet does and lets your monster gain an extra 500. It also increases the level by 2, and when it's destroyed, you can choose a monster on your side of an Inzektor monster on your side of the field and increase that level by 2 permanently. Now, Inzektor Hopper, however, when it's equipped to a monster and it's removed, that monster can attack directly. However, you cannot attack with any other monsters the turn you use that effect. Now, the Inzektor Ants, it stops your monster from being destroyed one turn, and you also get the effect of Dragonfly or Centipede when they are detached. Now, to help get your Hornet and all that out to your hand, we have Double Armageddon Knight. Basically, you summon this, you send Hornet to the grave, or you can do whatever with it after if you've dealt with the Hornet, this is basically a dead draw, but it still helps because Hornet's only at 1. Then we have Sangan and Dandy Pond to help get your Dragonfly and Hornet to your hand if you didn't already get dealt with it. Then we got a little bit of synchro power here, but it's not Effect Veiler, but it is Mist Valley Soldier. I run this because it's rank 4 and it's easier to go into a lot of the synchros that I have. Then we have Gores, Marshmallow, and Neospatian Grandma. These here is your annoyance factor of the deck. Along with Mist Valley Soldier, because if it attacks Marshmallow, it's sent back to the hand. Same with Neospatian Grandma. But Mist Valley Soldier, it only gets its effect if it is still on the field at the end of the damage step. Now, on to the side deck, and then I'll get to the extra. First off, my side deck holds 16 cards. Yes, I know it only is supposed to hold 15, but the 16th is basically a token. Yes, the token is my 16th card. Next, I have Pot of Duality, Swords, Armor Blast. The only reason I don't main deck Armor Blast is because you don't always have your opponent with 2 face-up cards at a time, but it's still very good to have side deck. Then you have Gravity Bind, because this is a major Exceed deck, and it pretty much is all level 3 and below, except for just a select few cards. Then you've got Inzektor Gauntlet. Basically what this does is it increases the defense by 1,000 points, and it's unaffected by the your opponent's card effects. Then you have Roll Decree, Variable Form. Basically, it has 2 effects. You can target 2 of your face-up Inzektor monsters you control and equip them to one another. Or you can target one Inzektor monster that you control that is equipped, that is an equipped card, and then you can special summon that target in face-up defense position. Next, you have Wall of Revealing Light. Basically, you pay 4,000 life points, and your opponent can attack with anything with 4,000 or less attack. You got Goes in the Match, because most of your monsters are dark attributes, and your opponent can't summon anything but the attribute of which they have on the field. Which Naturia would actually be the only downside to that, because they're all Earth type. Pretty much, or all that I've seen are anyways. Next you've got Dad, Penguin Soldier, Morphing Jar is basically just for the little extra draw power, but not really needed. Caius and Kinetic Soldier for the Hero and Samurai matchups. Now for the extra deck, I run Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Colossal Fighter, X-Saber Ubellum, and that's it for all the synchros. Now for the Exceeds, we have Triple Utopia, 1 Terabyte, 1 Leviathan, 1 Crimson Shadow Armor, 1 Luminite, 1 Pearl, and 2 Zenmeister. This deck here, it actually works for what I've tested it for. It's fared against 6 Sams. It's fared against certain burn decks. Not all of them, but I have won a few matches against a lot of the chain burns. It does have problems with windups. I will admit that, but doesn't just about any deck have problems with windups? But anyways, just rate, comment, subscribe, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Galaxy signing.